Hi, welcome to Daddy Daughter Fodder.
Where conversation meets culture.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
Well, this is something that I'm going to lean on you because I'm interested. You have a very busy lifestyle, as a lot of people do.
So bad.
And I know we represent two demographics, but we deal with a lot of the same issues. And this is one that I believe that we are both
Victimized.
victimized, potentially
Victims
falling
of.
in. And hopefully it'll speak to you. I want to talk about the idea of relationships and priorities.
Oh, yeah.
How do you balance the relationships that you have in your life with the priorities of your work and your school and your family and all of those things? You being a girl, I know it's a little bit different, but
Oh my gosh. I literally couldn't. So, I think I literally couldn't do it. And I was in a romantic relationship for, I think, 4 months this year. And I was so drained. But the relationship was not bad or anything, but I was just so drained socially. I had no time for anything ever. And I had way too much going on with priorities, with work, with school, with everything that was happening that I could not function in that at all. And so that was probably the primary reason we actually ended up ending things, because I couldn't.
So you're saying that even dating should be seasonal based upon priorities and some of those other things?
Yeah, I can't imagine actually being in a relationship right now because I'm just so busy with school. And that's back when I was doing school online. I did my entire associate's degree online, and I'm in person now. And I have to travel to campus, and I'm not a resident student. I'm a commuter student, so I have to constantly be at campus, coming back. I think I spent 12 hours at campus yesterday. It was so long, and I literally just do not have time to pursue a
I think she was partying, but this is just a personal suspicion.
Yeah, if you can't tell, I am clearly the most outrageous party animal college student ever.
Anyway, so let's just say let's take a scenario. So you have a good friend, and you know that your priorities are such that your time is going to really be just poured into something different. What do you do? Do you just tell that person, hey, this relationship's on pause? Do you,
No.
What do you invite them into your chaos? What does that look like?
Oh gosh. Yeah, so the last thing I typically will do is look at someone and go, I don't have time for you. I mean, I might say that to myself in my brain. I might be like, I don't have time for you. But I feel especially with girls, we feel the need to be absolute besties with everyone. If we are not at 100%, it's we're all or nothing. If we're besties with you, if we're 100% besties with you, we're letting you into our life, we're doing life together, we're doing everything, we know each other's everything that's happening, then we feel we have a good relationship with you. But if you're an outer circle friend where we can have a conversation with but can't really talk, you don't really feel you're getting those deep roots inside of a friendship, and so you don't really feel necessarily you're 100% friends. That's at least been my experience.
Well, this is something that I believe our culture is missing. So you say, what is the topic? What's the thing that you guys are talking about? I guess here's the question of what we're discussing. Are we too busy?
Yeah.
I mean, America, our culture is a culture of go, 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 go busy. And I know that you're preparing now for what you think is going to be a career and all of that stuff. And when we talk about balancing it, there comes a point where we have to say, is there just too much going on?
Yes, I had to take priorities and realign them. And I think during the time when I said I call back to this relationship, but during the time when I was in my romantic relationship, dating my partner, and I have hobbies. I write a lot. I talk about how much I write. Obviously, I do a lot of TikTok, but I literally had to say, okay, I can only do one or the other at any one time because I'm just way too busy. I had to 100% prioritize, and so I would give up writing for a month, or I'd give up doing TikTok for quite a while, and that's why I became a ghost and I never posted. So if you were wondering, that's what actually was happening.
So do you deal with guilt when you say that I'm going to begin to prioritize for my well-being, and that's the first thing you need to get? Sometimes you have to eliminate competing distractions. Sometimes you have to eliminate certain things. Sometimes it's not a matter of doing more, and sometimes it is, but very often it's a matter of eliminating things. How do you eliminate what we would refer to as non-essentials? And have you had to do that?
Yeah, I have a very addictive personality. So if I jump into something that
honest.
Yeah, I did. If I have to jump into something and I'm going 100% all of the time, my whole heart and soul is put into it. I'll take piano. If I'm practicing piano all of the time, then I will be on it all the time. I'll be learning things, listening to things, doing whatever I can all of the time, 24/7. So it literally consumes my life and I spiral out of it. And then I'll one day I'll like snap out of it and I'll move on to something else. But because of that, it unfortunately leads down this path of flightiness. But it also makes you, I think it's a blessing and a curse though, because it also makes you extremely flexible. And so you can weave in and out of things pretty easily. But like once you got that hobby or that thing that you're doing that you're just like, oh, I want to do it, and then you're kind of stuck there. Like I feel like at first TikTok was really a big thing for me. Like I jumped into that full force.
And so let me ask you this. So when it comes to, let's get an inside look at you.
Okay.
So what are your priorities? What are your top 3 priorities and why? And then I'll ask you, at what point does something competing with those mean a restructuring of priorities or a deletion of the distraction?
Obviously, number 1 priority is God, and then work, and then school right now.
Okay.
Those are my biggest priorities.
Family is not
in there right now.
Not even there.
I would put that under the umbrella.
Not even there.
Stop. You're being so dramatic. I would put that in like different categories though, because those are non-relationship things except for like God, but God is like obviously number 1 no matter what, everything all the time.
So how do you prioritize God in your life?
Having a set dedicated time. When I get up in the mornings, I like to listen to worship music just to have him on my mind. When I wake up, the first thing I want to do obviously is pray. Just constantly being in a relationship with him, and think of him kind of like you're on a phone call with like a friend and you can't like see them, but you're like kind of just doing life with them, or like you're on FaceTime with them and you're just kind of living with them. And that's kind of what I do with God. And it's just given me a lot more peace, because I've really been on this journey of finding peace. And it's really difficult when you're a flighty person to find peace, because you're always like, but I've actually felt really peaceful for the past, I want to say like 3 months of intentional dedication to making sure that my life is in good and priorities.
So prioritizing God, tell me if I'm right or wrong. When you say I'm prioritizing God, it doesn't just mean that he is the first thing I do, but he is the first consideration that I have as I make every other priority in my life.
Yeah. So like if I have a decision coming up, the first thing I'll do is pray about it. Like 100%, not even like a question.
Well, let's be honest. There's a lot of young folks your age who go to college and they say God is a priority, or they had God as first thing, not first place, and all of a sudden you see this compartmentalization of God, where it doesn't affect their schooling, it doesn't affect their relationships, it doesn't affect those other things that are coming in.
College is such a cool place. I think I woke up this morning and I told him, and I was like, I was born to be a college girly. I genuinely do enjoy going to college. I enjoy going to my university, and I think I enjoy that in part. A big part actually has to do with the community that I found at my college, because I've met this amazing group of Christians at my college, and I love it because they're there where nobody's looking, so to speak. Their parents aren't breathing down their neck. Nobody has outside pressures. Nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows where they come from. It's all just people coming around, and they're truly just wanting a genuine relationship with God, and that is so healthy. And being around that is so healthy.
How important is that? Now, at your the last academic endeavor, yeah, you didn't have that.
I didn't
core.
At
you
all.
Didn't have those. So you go to this university and you find a group of people who share the same common core value. God is first place. And how has that changed? How is that different? Is that you think that's what's making your experience more enjoyable?
100%, because a big thing that I was worried about with college, and I'm going to be so candid with you guys, going to in-person, switching from online to in-person, is I'm a people person. I genuinely do love people and have a heart for people. And I did
Even though they were not on her priority list. I'm just throwing it.
Okay,
you love people. All right, okay.
Anyway, so I would go, and I was really worried about not having people. Like, I was really worried about having to be like the only one. And then by God's grace and mercy, I ended up going to the wrong class on the first day. And
this is crazy.
Yeah, it is so crazy, right? I ended up going to the wrong class on the first day because my professor made the syllabus incorrect. And I showed up to the classroom that I was supposed to be in. Wrong class was happening.
Wrong class, wrong day.
Wrong day, wrong everything, but it was the same time. And so I'm sitting down and everybody else is just sitting around me. And it's at this point I realized that I'm in the wrong class class when she hands us the papered syllabus and we're having to read it. And I like look over and I'm like, oh, I have no, this is not the class I'm supposed to be in. So of course, me being me, I could not just get up and leave.
Why couldn't you leave?
Because I was embarrassed.
So
Okay.
you're too prideful to walk.
So I was like, no, but the class was public relations and social media, and I said I do social media. Like I was like, I'm gonna nail this class. Am I in this class? No, but I'm gonna nail it. So I stayed there the entire time. And then we were talking about what social media teams that have the best social media accounts, what brands have the best social media accounts. And I said The Chosen, plug for The Chosen, y'all. I love their social media accounts on Instagram and TikTok.
They are pretty good.
They are so cool. And so I said that, and the girl beside me, she like lit up like a light bulb, and she was like, whoa. And I was like, okay. She's like, I'm going to talk to you afterwards. I was like, oh, okay. And so class ends, and so she gets up and immediately beelines over to me, and she's like, so The Chosen. And I was like, yeah. Keep in mind, this girl sat right next to me. Like, this girl was right there next to me, right beside me. And she said, so I'm like the president of like, there's this organization called Crew, and it's like at all of the colleges, it's a national organization. She's like, I'm the president of like our chapter, and I would love if you would come to our groups. We have a women's Bible study. We have like this a big co-ed group. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And that never would have happened if I hadn't gone to the wrong class on the wrong day, and more importantly, if I hadn't stayed. So
that gets crazy. Now, while she was going to school, I'm at home, daddy, doing what daddies do.
What were you doing?
I was praying. I was like,
Really?
God, please help her to meet godly people. And I know Kristen, or I know Elise. She's a trip. She's an interesting personality.
She's a whole journey.
She's not just a trip. She's a journey. I know that she loves people, but I thought that might be something, and to see how God intervened. So when she told me this story, and I know you were asking. So listen, if you're a parent, and you're about to send those children to school or send to college, stay in it with them. Ask God to guide them steps, to guide their steps. Ask God to surround them with godly people. They are there. They may have to make some very unpopular decisions, and they may need real support to take real stands in this crazy culture that we're in. So just like God has helped you find connectivity, don't be afraid to pray and ask God to help you find connectivity as well.
It's just, thinking about that is just absolutely crazy. And I did tell the other girls when I met them, that's how I met, and that's how I knew about this organization. They were like, all of them were like, that's so crazy. And I was like, yeah, it was crazy. But I think that's definitely contributed to my positive experience at campus. And I don't know if I necessarily would have had an as positive experience if I literally just went there and my plan was just to go there, go classes, and get out. But I really do enjoy the environment that I'm in.
Your priorities will determine your goals. Your goals will determine the fruitfulness of your life. Mm-hmm. So set good goals based on good priorities, and I don't think you'll miss out on life at all. Closing thought?
Goodbye.
All right. Hey, thank you for joining us. Look forward to seeing you next time.